follow the steps and make sure you get each point. So I'm going to start off with a little video, and it's about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Within that video, I'm going to stop it at certain points. I'm going to clarify a couple of things that you need to know in regard to your note cards, answer any questions you have at that point. Then we're going to go through an example of how you're going to put these together, and then I'm going to let you get to work. But I know some of you are still gathering information. That's fine. Some of you are going to still be gathering information and getting that down, and that's fine. But we're going to start and we're going to move on to the next step so you can kind of multitask. So if you're still needing to gather information, then you can still do that while you are making your note cards. Okay? Here we go. We're hearing nothing. Why are we hearing nothing?
I don't know.
Because we're all deaf. We're all deaf.
What?
You're all done.
What's that?
Oh, I get what you're doing now. I was like, what?
What? What'd you say?
Okay, redo. Here we go. Let's start again.
There was an actual chapter.
How to write
Okay, here we go.
notes for
Here
your
we go.
research
Listen up.
papers and projects. Using an index card is going to be the best way to take your notes. It is useful to take notes on index cards because it gives you the flexibility to change the order of your notes and group them together easily.
You're not writing
To
anything
begin
down
with,
on
you will
these
want to
right
write a
yet.
source number on the top right of the card. This allows you to reference the source your information is coming from. You can either put a number, or some have even used the author or the title of the source.
Now notice there, up in the top right-hand corner, it said source number 1. So I'm going to pretend some of you yesterday printed off your materials. I'm going to imagine that this is an article that I printed off. When I printed off this article, it has all this information, and I'm going to write at the top of this, I'm going to put source number 1, or I'm just going to put number 1. Or, if this article has an author, or the title of the article, if I would like to use that, then up here in the right-hand corner, I may put source number 1, I may just put the author's name, I may put the title of the article, so I know any and all information that I put on this card goes back to this source.
In using a source number, you want to make sure that you have numbered the source's information on another note card or note paper with all the source's information, including the author, the title, the book information if it is a book source, or the web information if it is a web source.
This is a source card, which at this point right now, we're not going to do the source cards today. So I'm going to go through those tomorrow because we're going to actually do our source cards a little bit differently. So we're not focusing on the source cards yet today, but this is just giving you an idea and letting you know whenever I make a note, I also have a card that tells me all the information about that source and where I got that information from.
In the top left of the card, you will want to place the topic that this information is referring to. This topic can be an idea for a paragraph in your paper. For the body of the text, you will want to write either a single thought that is paraphrasing the text you are referencing, or you will want to write a direct quote from the text. But you must put quotations around the text so that
Okay, something I want to clarify real quick
that you
that you need to make sure you know the difference. So this note here, notice there are no quotations here. So if there aren't any quotations, then this individual has taken this information from their article, from their source, and they've done what?
Paraphrase.
They paraphrased it. They put it into their own words. So they put this information into their own words. Once they did that, it says, so due to the rising temperature of the Earth, the global climate will change, and the scientists have already gathered evidence that this is changing. This note is about the Earth's climate. So this note is about the Earth's climate, and this is where I got it from. However, the second option,
or you will want to write a direct.
I can directly quote it. So I can paraphrase it and put it into my own words, or I can word for word, right guys?
right?
Juice is fun, I know. Or I can directly quote it word for word. Literally, I've taken it word for word out of my information in my source, and I have put direct quotations around it so I know that this is a quote card. This is the direct quote. It's about the Earth's climate, and I got it from source number 1.
Quote from the text, but you must put quotations around the text so that you can give proper credit later. Remember the difference between paraphrasing and plagiarism. Paraphrasing is putting something into your own words. It means to completely restate the author's thought. Just replacing a few words isn't enough. You need to completely make it your own. Plagiarism is when you copy another's words and use them as your own. It is the same thing as stealing another's work.
In my paper, when I create a note card, I have my note cards where I have paraphrased, and I have my quote cards. We know that we have to give credit when we actually start our rough draft and we start typing our paper. We have to give credit to those sources. If I am paraphrasing, information and I get to my rough draft, do I have to cite my information that I've paraphrased in my paper? Yes. Yes. Even though I took, because it says, I am taking and I'm restating the author's thought. That was not my original thought. That wasn't my idea. I was just putting it into my own words. So even the paraphrases you have to cite when you get to the rough draft.
Copying from web pages is definitely considered plagiarism. Once you are done taking all of your notes, you will want to organize the cards. You will organize the cards by laying them out by their topic. This will allow you to lay your notes out in the order you want your paper to go in.
So now, once I have all of my note cards, everything's done, I have all of my note cards, I have all of my quote cards, I'm going to then take them and I'm going to put them into piles according to their categories and their topics. So all of these note cards are about sustainable future, all of these note cards are about the Earth's climate, and then I can transition to the next step, which will lead me into the outline. We're not there. What I want you to do now, and I just want you to choose one, either choose an article that you have printed out, that you actually have one of your sources that you have printed out, or find one of your sources that you bookmarked. If it's on your laptop, I want one of your sources, get it out and have it in front of you.